Hi guys, I'm a little bit cluttered here this morning, and this was kind of an impromptu thing. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I know that is sort of being overlooked right now because of what's going on in the world. Please don't go out to the bars and drink green beer. If you want to celebrate St. Patrick's Day with a few of your close friends, please do it in a confined area. Make sure nobody's coughing or sneezing all over you. Put a little bit of green food coloring in your Corona and a lime and chug. All right. I am boosting my immune system instead of killing it. I'm not going to be drinking green beer. And that's what I wanted to show you guys today, because I'm getting a lot of advice on how to take care of my autoimmune disorder that I made public a couple of weeks ago. And I do want you guys to know that I've known about this much longer than you have. And I've really, again, been working on my immune system since then, right? Because even though an autoimmune system is basically your body is attacking itself. Like that's how you say it in the most simplest terms. And so when your body thinks that there's an infection, it makes extra white blood cells in your bone marrow, and that gets released, and then it attacks the part of your body where there's an infection. So somewhere along the way, I've always had gastro problems. Like I've always had tummy problems, but I'm a Virgo. That's where we hold all of our stress. And I'm not blaming the whole Virgo culture for that, but I'm blaming the whole Virgo culture. Actually, no, I'm actually blaming the processed foods that I was raised on. And I am not high, mighty soapbox person. There are still processed foods in my house. We try to limit it, everything in moderation, right? Like my 6-year-old does eat some processed foods. We have cut that down a lot because he has attention issues, and there's a link between gluten and attention deficit. But that's not to say, like, I'm not one of those like really super crunchy, holistic people. And then when I got sick, I started to have to incorporate some healthier things. Like with my 6-year-old, I will sneak in a little bit of sweet potato in with like things that he'll, it's like if I'm making a casserole, I add some turmeric to it, or I add some, like I'm learning how to be really sneaky with his foods, right? I am not vegan, and I am not, right now, I am not going to go vegan. I know a lot of you, and man, please don't email me. Please don't rain down the emails, because I've already gotten a lot. Don't rain the emails down on veganism with me, and because I get it. I understand, but it's also a personal preference for people. I do not eat red meat, and the reason why I don't eat red meat is because I cannot digest it. I do eat more vegetables than I eat chicken or fish. I eat more fish than I do chicken. But I do a lot of fruits. I do a lot of vegetables. Today's lunch, and I wanted to show you guys this because this is a really good time. We're talking about washing our hands. We're talking about, not touching your face, using hand sanitizer, but we're not talking about not eating the chips and not eating the breads and not eating the processed sugars and not eating the candy. Like we're in isolation, right? If you're in isolation and you're eating sugars, and like I used to have a really bad Diet Coke problem. And I say that like it's a regular Coke problem, like a regular cocaine problem. And that's not, that's kind of how it was. Like if I didn't get my fix during the day, like I'd be like, oh my God, that kind of thing. Seriously. I still have one every once in a while, I'm not perfect, but I'm doing better. And I want to help you guys do a little bit better too. I just wanted to show, like my snack, this isn't even a big deal. Like I cut up a mango, I cut up an avocado. Some of you don't like mangoes, some of you don't like avocado. This is just a little thing that I was munching on. And honestly, this will be my lunch because there's plenty of fat. There's plenty of sugars in it, right? And if I need some protein, I'll have a piece of cheese or whatever, Anyway, hold on a second. It's really warm in here, and I'm not really sure why. Hold on. I need to open up the door. So, by the way, I did have my blood drawn again this morning, and it looks good. They tested it right there. Again, I'm not talking that I have the coronavirus. I have an autoimmune disorder, but I have to be closely monitored because this is like this is a new thing. And so I'm checking my temperature every day. I'm getting my blood drawn every week to make sure that my white blood cell count is good. And I want you guys to practice, like I'm going to be talking about practicing awareness a lot in the coming weeks because we are living in a new normal, you know, and we have to, it's not about making you miserable, right? And I said yesterday, the thing about millennials are going to be the ones that save us. Like the 30-year-olds, the ones that are just coming out of their Saturn in Capricorn, or the ones that are just going into the Saturn in Aquarius, having their Saturn return. You guys are going to save us. And one of the biggest ways you're going to save us is to be aware and be conscious and not be that person that's like, I don't care if I die. If I get sick and I die, it's not that big of a deal to me. It's not about you anymore, right? We got to stop thinking about just ourselves. And the reason why is because if we go out and we're asymptomatic and we're touching things, but we have the virus and we're asymptomatic and we're touching things, your grandparents, your parents, me, like I'm 40 and I know that that's not old, but I have an autoimmune disorder. And I'm it's like, please be aware of yourself for me. I know that sounds selfish on my part, but I'm being aware of myself for you. That's what this is about anymore. This isn't about how your life is ruined, your spring break was canceled, whatever. It's not about that anymore. I am not a doctor. I'm not even a nurse. So anything I say is not 100% facts. If you need the facts, go to your state health department website, go to the CDC website. There are experts on Twitter, on the television, telling us what we need to know. Listen to those people. I'm giving you tips directly from my life that are helping me stay calm and not panic, and to allow myself to have somewhat of a normal resemblance of a life, right? So, happy St. Patrick's Day. You know, if I would have had the time, and I should have done this, the story of St. Patrick's Day, that would have been fun to do. So, the moon is in Capricorn, and it's trining Venus today. Things are a little sweeter. I feel like everybody today, it's like today and tomorrow are sort of the last calm aspects before everybody starts to panic again. I feel like there's going to be a really big shift. You know, everybody's talking about how the line is like, we're flattening the curve. That's like hashtag flatten the curve, stay home, hashtag flatten the curve. And that would work if we could all band together, if we could all actually stay home to try and flatten the curve, that would be amazing. But the reality of the situation is there are some people out there that just don't give a shit. So, I feel like this week is about coming together. Today is kind of one of those days. There's a little bit sweet. There's like a sweetness in the air that we haven't had for a little bit. And so I feel like there's sort of this kind of coming together, but there's a seriousness behind it with the Capricorn and the Taurus. It's very earthy, seriousness behind it. I think we're all trying to find solutions for this thing all at the same time. It's like the pendulum swing, right? We all panicked, like, oh my God, we're all freaking out. And now we're pendulating all the way this way to find the solutions for that panic. So as always, take care of yourself, love on your your loved ones. And we're all going to ride through this together. I am working on the love readings. I'm still trying to entertain you guys through this. I am working on the love readings. I will probably have some out tomorrow. But then, you know, I'm going to have my son also during the day. So I won't be able to get any more done until later this weekend. So I'll probably have like the first half of the Zodiac out by tomorrow at least. Doing my best. I'm not pushing myself, keeping my energy level. I have a couple of people that would be very angry with me if I pushed myself right now. So I am not. I am being very, very aware and conscious. I'm even being more aware and conscious of my energy level and my health than I normally would be. Because normally I'd be like, you know what, it's not, this isn't about me. I need to focus on everybody else and take care of everybody else and da-da-da-da-da-da. And I can't do that right now. So this is really giving me, there's a whole new normal that's happening. Whole new normal. All right. And thank you for hanging out with me through this new normal, because we all need each other still, you know? And again, please reach out to me if you need to. I did have a couple people reach out to me last night, really late at night, wanting to chat, and I can't do that. Like, I feel bad when I have to say, I just don't have the energy, after I tell you guys, reach out to me. I don't have the energetic capacity right now. And please refrain from reaching out and talking to me about people who are dying or people who are, you know, stuff like that, because that is an energy drain on me too. I take on other people's energy, you know, like, if you need help to, like, you know, just to chat, that's fine. But I don't text me your entire life story, energy drain, and to be like, please help. No, I can't. I can't do that. Okay. Big changes, big changes. Okay. So we have the Three of Cups. And we have the Queen of Wands. And we have the Death card. Oof, look at this Death card though. It's very interesting. I love this deck. I am using the This Might Hurt Tarot deck by Isabella Rotman. You can only get it on her website, thismighthurttarot.com. It's very modernized. I know a lot of people don't like the modernized decks, but that's what we have here. Sorry for that loud noise for those of you that are listening to me with headphones. And then down here we have the Page of Swords. Let's get one more card and then we'll chat a little bit. I feel like okay, so it's funny, I'm getting messages through songs now. And now I'm getting like, it's the end of the world as we know it. That song is playing through my head, and so that's what's coming out. And I'm a terrible singer, so I don't know why I'm getting songs right now. That's so weird. So I want to say that we've got to put, this is so funny. This is so funny because I literally feel like this is saying we got to put an end to the socializing. We have to put an end to the socializing. It's not going to be forever, you guys. The human contact stuff, you know, the social distancing is not going to be forever. But I literally feel like this is. If you are wondering what you can do, and if you're already doing the social distancing, that's fantastic and that's great. And maybe that's not what this is about for you. Maybe this is about contacting other people or finding new ways. Whatever it is, this is because the Death card isn't actually about death. It might be in some cases. Unfortunately, I have to say that because of what we're going through right now. But the Death card for me is more about the death and rebirth, right? And that's exactly what this entire world is going through right now. We're going through a death and rebirth cycle. And so we have to get really honest with ourselves and take care of ourselves. Page of Swords. I know, and I also realized, you guys, I mean, like, again, I am so imperfect. I am being aware and conscious of myself, of how many times I actually touch my face in a day. I did not, everybody does it too. I did not even realize. So every time I touch my face, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to stop doing that. It can't do that. And the reason why they're saying that is because the virus can live on surfaces for up to 3 days. So even if you're not close to somebody, but you pick something up from the grocery store, and I'm not saying this to scare you, and I got that from an actual news source, okay, that the virus can stay on porous objects for up to 3 days. And I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm saying that to make sure that you're aware of why it can spread so easily, because it doesn't die fast. It stays in the air for hours. And it's such a brand new virus. It's having its heyday all over this planet. Like, it's having its own little St. Patrick's Day party on this planet, right? So that's why the washing of your hands is so, so, so important. You know, I went to the grocery store this morning. For those of you that were really worried about my lemon shortage, I did get lemons, you see. I stocked up on all of my fruits, every little orange on top. But everything, you know, I have tons of bananas now, like, because I don't want to go back for a while, you know? Like, I just don't. Nobody does. But I did get my lemons, and I do actually have a wonderful client and friend of mine that is shipping me like a care package of citrus fruits. So thank you to everybody that was wanted to help and emailed me and messaged me and commented and all of that. I truly appreciate it. But this really is about the self-care, and that's why I'm talking about the surface things, you know, and that's why, like, the things that you use a lot with your phones, and make sure that your computer, your mouses and everything, right? Make sure that you're cleaning it on a regular. If we just do common sense things, we can stay healthy, but it's time to get real about it. And it's amazing. Like, I know that there are readers that are doing tarot readings for the virus or for the sickness, but I did not expect for this to come out, and that's exactly what's coming out. The Ace of Cups for me is the self-care card. And isn't it amazing how we've all just been told to become introverts? We are going to learn so much about ourselves through this time because we have to slow down. The information of life, the chaos of life is being taken away from us. The chaos of life is being taken away from us. And this is a perfect opportunity for everybody to get right with themselves. You know what I mean? Like, if there was a shadow period, if there was a time for us to work on shadow work, now would be the time to do it. Because you have the opportunity to meditate. You have the opportunity to do your breathing exercises and your yoga. And if you're not doing any of that right now, and you're just staring at the television and freaking out about all the new information that's happening, you're not giving your body the rest that the universe is literally, it's like, I hate to call it a gift to you, but it kind of, in a way. And the best way that you can stop this virus is to love yourself by taking care of yourself. Because we don't do that as a society. We don't do that. And it's so funny because I saw a meme yesterday that said, what if all the grocery stores shut down? We'll have to hunt for food. I don't even know where Doritos live. And I was like, that is so true. Like, people want, you know, I mean, like, sure, you can go and get all of your junk food and all of your snacks and hunker down for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month at a time. And hope and pray that your immune system, I mean, for some people it works, right? I know for me, having a compromised immune system, I have to do everything in my power, self-care. I drink a gallon of water a day, and it's the bottled water. So I actually went to 2 different stores this morning to get my bottled water, because there was one store that there was only like a minute, and I'm doing it as a reaction to the panic, because I know that my bottled water, not a lot of people buy, because it's $4 a gallon, and people are like, that's crazy. Why would you want to buy that in bulk? Well, because it keeps me healthy. It's about my immune system. That's why I buy water, and it tastes good to me. But yeah, so I got 3 gallons at one place because that, like, literally that's the limit. That's the quantity limit. You can get 3 bottles of water and that's it. Or like 3 of your gallons of water and that's it. Like, okay. So then I go to Sprouts because they always have my water and their whole shelves were lined with it. I was like, what? All right, this is where I'm coming from now on. And they didn't even have a quantity limit. I was like, and it was cheaper than the other store. It was crazy. Anyway, my little, I'm going to share my little tidbit information things with you because things are weird, right? These are so weird. All right, let's see what the 3 of Cups is. I know I'm a little long-winded, and this is what happens. Like, I don't do personal readings for a while, and I have all this energy, and I get super long-winded. The High Priestess on the 3 of Cups. And this is the thing. It's like, oh man, practice your telepathy with your friends. What an amazing time to boost your telepathic powers. I mean, what happens when the internet goes? I don't think that's going to happen. Hopefully that doesn't happen. That would not be fun. Let's see what the Queen of Wands. Queen of Swords. Let's see what the Death card is. Okay. So I feel like for some of you, your friends are really keeping you sane right now. Like, that's literally how I want to say it. So I love the Queen of Swords in this deck of cards. Look at those 2 beautiful women. Being very smart, being very discerning. You also are going to have to be extremely creative during this time. And I feel like, so I have the 4 of Cups on the Death card, and I literally want to say, you guys, that we have to see this as an opportunity. I feel like so many of us are seeing the negative side of this. And I understand that people being sick and people dying is never a positive thing. That's never, and I'm not even, like, please don't at me about me saying that, because of course people dying and of course people being sick is not a positive, fun thing for anybody to go through, especially for people that can feel energy and sadness. Trust me, I've had my breakdowns with this. I have lost my shit. Seriously. I am not immune to the panic, and I feel it at a deeper level because I can feel it in the core, right? And what is going on in my core right now? Disease. You see? So that's why I've had to cancel all of my personal readings and like try and reschedule them very slowly. Here's the thing. The 4 of Cups on the Death card. I want you to be informed, but I don't want you to shower yourself with information. I don't want you to get so sucked into the information that people are giving you. You know that there are going to be those that have survival kits, and you know that there are going to be those people out there that are going to like make bunkers again, you know, like started happening a couple of years ago after 9/11, and here we go again with the fear and the panic and having to make all the bunkers and, you know, all the stuff, right? How do we say, well, you know, the bunkers cannot keep viruses out. I know that we all want to believe that, but viruses are so microscopic that they'll, you know, I mean, like, you have to be, anyway, I'm not going to get into it. But this 4 of Cups on the Death card, I need you to stop worrying so much about the death part and worry more about the rebirth. Like, let's get that pendulum back into the middle so it's not going back and forth so much. So the 4 of Cups for me is about paying attention to the inner part, and paying attention to how this is sort of a forced pause, a forced needed pause. And by relying on your friends in the I love that the High Priestess came out, because it's like, be telepathic, bitch. Like, what do you think that our third eye is made for? Open it up. We're ready to go, right? The thing about this is banding together and relying on the people and not giving into the fear. During this time, and the Hermit came out yesterday as well. King of Wands is at the bottom of the deck. I love when he shows up. The Hermit on the Page of Swords. During this time of quarantine, whether it's self-quarantine or whether you're in Italy, and you have to be, I love the videos that are coming out of Italy, by the way, everybody singing like out on their balconies and playing music. If you haven't seen that yet, look, like, I don't know what you would even Google to find that, but like Italy lockdown or Italy singing on balconies during lockdown. There are so many videos. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. There's this one guy that's playing a trumpet to What a Wonderful World. You know, I just got goosebumps. Like, during this time, be the hermit. And I don't mean by eating an entire pie and binge watching Netflix. That's not how we're going to hermit this. What we're going to do is we're going to gather the information that we need, and then we're going to share it with the people in a respectful way. And when we've gathered enough information for ourselves, we're going to shut it down so that we don't overwhelm the system. We don't overwhelm the panic. The fear and the panic is normal. But if we allow it to overcome it, fear breaks down your immune system too. It's scientific. That is science. Fear breaks down. And if you need more science on that, watch Dr. Joe Dispenza. He likes to talk about that. And he's really good at explaining why fear breaks down the immune system. Let's look at the Ace of Cups. Because this is about the self-care. This is about allowing yourself to see the good things that can come out of this. Even if they're really few and far between. Even if they're really small. Even if it takes a really long time to get there. Deep breaths. Ace of, there we go. I'm like, see? And the way that you're going to, I love tarot. So, I mean, like, it is just, I love it. The Four of Wands on the Ace of Cups. See, guys? Even the spirits want you to take care of yourself within your own four walls. And if you're a person that is if you're a person that is compromised in any way, financially, physically, spiritually, please reach out to someone. It doesn't have to be me. It doesn't have to be... but if you feel more comfortable reaching out to a stranger, the suicide hotline is still in effect. I know there are a lot of people that might go there. Just like the biggest thing right now is to really pay attention to your health as a whole. And this slow down, this forced pause, I'm surprised the Hangman isn't here, but the Hangman probably isn't here because the universe is like, y'all don't even need to know that you are on a forced pause right now. Like, I don't have to tell you twice. Six of Pentacles and the Two of Cups. Give back to the love, too. Loving yourself and growing your heart chakra. Do you know how many people are going through an awakening process right now and feel completely alone through all of this? To those of you that need someone, you need to reach out to someone, please do that. Please do that now. The Six of Pentacles on the Two of Cups. Remind yourself of who you're giving your energy to. And if you're not allowing yourself to see how this is just another cycle that we have to go through. It's a death and rebirth cycle. And we do this in our lives on much smaller scales all the time. Now it's just global. And the reason why it's global is because we have probably been taking advantage of a system for way too long, and it's kind of sick of it. You know, there are a lot of conspiracy theories out there. I'm trying not to buy into any of them. I have my own thoughts and ideas, and that's what I'm sticking with. I'm not much of a follower, never really have been much of a follower. I do not have 10 bags of toilet paper. I have like my regular toilet paper size thing because I know that I'll be able to get some more toilet paper when that's gone. You know what I mean? Like, don't buy into the fear to the point, because the more we buy into the fear, the more fear we're putting into the system, and the more we're breaking down, and we want to build up. All right. So I'm going to be done lecturing you now. I hope you guys are doing well. I love you so much. Please comment, because I love reading the comments and I have nothing else better to do with my life these days. Wink. I'm just kidding. But yeah, lockdown or not, here we are. And I love you, and thanks for being with me, and I'll get those love readings out as soon as I can. Bye.